Moo. What's up, cows? It's your favorite vamp cow back at you with another React Andy. This time, Linus Tech Tips is losing thousands of fans. Why? That was a terrible voice crack, and then I burped. That's being kept in. This came up on like the side of these YouTube videos here for like, yeah, this just came up on like the side of my YouTube videos on the side page. So I saw it. It's 4 days old, but I was interested. Now, last time I remember Linus Tech Tips get into any trouble, it was because he said he was never gonna like buy a jet because he thought that he would never need it and never use it. And then he bought a jet and then he showed it off. He's like, guys, this is actually really, really cheap and affordable. You have no idea. And then everyone's just like, bro, you said you would never buy a jet and how terrible it is for the environment. At least that's what I recall. That's the only thing I remember Linus Tech Tips, though, for getting in trouble with.
At its peak,
so let's find out in this video.
Linus Tech Tips was pulling nearly 28 million subscribers across 10 channels and was worth over $100 million. However, the channel was also one of the biggest promoters of a huge influencer scam, and recently got into a controversy where the owner Linus bought a private jet while employees were slaving away. My name's Ryan, and we're gonna look at how Linus Tech Tips' company and reputation is going downhill, as well as give an update as to where his company stands now. To understand how—
Now, did Linus always have, like, ear piercings? Because I swear to you, at one point, he did not. That or my brain just deleted from my memory.
Before Linus fell, you first have to understand what he actually built. Back in November 2008, Linus Sebastian started the Linus Tech Tips channel out of a spare bedroom in Canada, with his first video being about an undisclosed AMD processor.
Thank you for joining me.
We all enjoy these humble beginning stories. It almost always starts out as a humble beginning story. Almost always. Usually the people you like the most and then they have the reputation tank. That's because they have like humble beginnings where they actually were like good. And usually people that don't have humble beginnings, people just perceive them as Nepo babies and already discount them and they already got a bad reputation because they're Nepo babies.
That didn't quite go as smoothly as I—
His first videos were simple, with no production crew or a big budget. Just a guy who was genuinely obsessed with tech and wanted to share that with people. And people loved it with comments like, "Unedited reviews rock, always enjoy these." And "I love Linus Tech Tips. They aren't boring like everything else, they're short and straight to the point."
Yeah, I think, you know, I think more than anything, I always find it so weird whenever a YouTuber just decides to start like hiring a whole bunch of people to then just do the exact same thing that they've been doing, but now they just have other people do it. Like, why? You don't really need to. It's okay to be satisfied and just kind of like do whatever you want when you can and release videos when you can. You don't need to have like a high production value, all these interesting detailed graphics showcasing your point or what's going on, or having like was it like 10 or 20 page scripts about a singular video. You don't really need to do that. You don't need a team for that. Like, just make shit. When it comes out, it comes out. It's like George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones books.
Result, the channel grew from a bedroom setup into a 100-person company with 10 channels across the platform. By its peak,
bro does not need 10 channels. You don't need that.
LTT was one of YouTube's biggest and most influential tech channels. In 2023, he revealed that his company got a huge buyout offer.
We did have a substantial offer recently to sell out, and I might as well speak plain.
Okay, can anyone tell me what Linus Tech Tips did that was influential? I don't know anything that they've done that's actually changed anything, period. Like, the most influential thing I remember from Linus Tech Tips is that I can put my keyboard in the dishwasher, and then after like 2 weeks, I can use it again, and it's perfectly fine. And it's a good way of cleaning it out, too. Or the only other thing that I remember from Linus Tech Tips is, like, good cleaning items for keyboards. Very specifically, just, like, cleaning gel is just good for keyboards. That's the only other thing I can think of that Linus Tech Tips did that really had an impact for me. Maybe he actually did have an impact on like a wide scale, as in he helped a whole bunch of people that didn't even like watch him. But I don't know. I've heard nothing about that.
The offer was $100 million.
And of course, he declined. That's how big things were. But the bigger you get, the more people are watching when you mess up. And Linus was about to give them plenty. In August 2022, LTT launched a premium tech backpack.
Why are we going back in time now? You said in 2023 he was... Bro just said that in 2023 he was offered like $100 million. Did you not? Why are we going back in time now? When more people are watching you, the more people knows your mistakes. In 2022, bro, why are we going back in time now? Okay.
Which sold for $250.
I mean, it wouldn't make it does make the video seem good until you take account that again, bro was going from 2023 to 2022. Like that would have been a cool detail or a cool point to have, if not for that.
But when customers started asking about the warranty policy for such an expensive product, Linus basically told them this.
We are not formalizing anything, but we will stand behind our products. I think that we have a pretty good track record for just kind of dealing with it.
From what I can tell you, from what I've seen about the Linus Tech Tape store, everything there is overpriced. You can get something just as good, if not like better, for the same price and or cheaper. Like why do you need a $250 backpack? That is insane. Guys, it's a shadow backpack too. That means you don't see the logo. Remember when Markiplier and Jacksepticeye were doing stealth? That stupid t-shirt company? Are they still even doing that? I feel like I was one of the very few people that thought it was super corny and super stupid. Hi guys, do you want to buy our YouTuber merch? Here you can buy it, and it's gonna have a logo on it, but you can't really see it, and that's the point. And then every shirt was like $70. It was so stupid. Can I find that? Let's see. Markiplier stealth t-shirt. Oh, sorry, cloak. Is it cloak? Wait, what is it? Is it stealth or is it cloak? Let's try Jack. Jacksepticeye stealth brand t-shirt. No? Cloak? Why can't I find this? I know it exists. What? Primary available in secondhand marketplace at eBay. Okay, so Cloak is defunct now. Alright, so that's why we can't find it. That's why it's not popping up, because Cloak is defunct now, according to Google Gemini. Yeah, it was really corny. But the only thing I liked about Cloak is that Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, they hired a stripper to teach them how to strip while wearing their t-shirts to advertise it. I mean, I thought it was funny more than anything. I also thought it was just, like, really strange, but that's the only reason I was into it. But I saw the price tag. I was like, dude, that shit is not worth it. What? But these are not doing a good job either. Oh, is there a video about it? No, I don't know. Maybe this is it. Oh, quite literally, that's called This Is It. I ain't gonna watch that right now. But yeah, that is no different. Like, again, Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, they were selling an overpriced shirt that you couldn't even see the logo of. It really had no purpose for existing. This is the exact same thing. A $250 backpack, I can go to Amazon right now and buy a $50 backpack that is considered military grade. It's probably just as good for 1/5 the price.
You know, about the warranty policy for such
it's a backpack. It ain't that deep.
Expensive product, Linus basically told them this.
We are not formalizing anything, but we will stand behind our products. I think that we have a pretty good track record for just kind of dealing with it.
His answer instantly triggered a wave of backlash from viewers on the internet, with people saying things like, LTT has always discussed warranties from a consumer standpoint and has constantly called out companies for not honoring warranties, or having bad warranties for the products they review. But now that it's a product coming from LTT, warranties don't matter? What a weird hill to die on from the LTT crew. Shows how out of touch Linus has become. If a hardware manufacturer had said, warranties don't matter so we don't—
Man, Slurp Nation spitting facts. Slurp Nation.
to offer one, he would be all
You know, if this was any other name, this would be so based.
over them. And the hypocrisy is almost palpable. I can't wait for Nvidia, Intel, and other tech companies to adopt the Trust Me Bro warranty, truly setting a wonderful example to those LTT apparently tries to hold responsible on how to treat consumers.
And this is exactly why warranties suck anyway. Because a lot of times companies don't actually go by the warranty, or there's some like there's like not silver lining, there's some small print on the page that basically says that you can't get a warranty for this issue coming about. A lot of times there's a lot of products where they specifically stop working right after the warranty goes out, so you wasted your money pretty much.
Even people who had already bought the backpack got to question their decision after hearing Linus's take on warranty, like one user on X with this following tweet. The LTT store backpack is expensive, a premium product. I purchased one, but after hearing what Linus Sebastian had to say about not providing a written concrete warranty, I think I need to cancel my order. The fact that you won't even provide a basic warranty, something legally mandated in much of the first world, something that comes with the most basic products—
Is warranties really mandated? Are they really mandated to offer it? You know, that would make sense why a lot of companies that do offer warranties, they make their products last slightly longer than what the warranty is.
alone a $250 backpack is very concerning and immensely anti-consumer. And in response to those angry tweets, Linus replied with, "It's likely we will formalize some kind of warranty policy before we actually start shipping. We have been talking about it for months and weighing our options, but it will need to be bulletproof. My point is that lifetime warranty or any warranty period means nothing. I could just fold the company and you'd be shit out of luck. So at the end of—
What a weird response. Yeah, man, so even if I did offer a warranty, I could just, like, get rid of the company, just sell it, or dissolve it, and then, well, womp womp, you can't get the warranty of the backpack. Bro, what? What? Linus, are you... Either he's stupid, or he's filled with too much pride to not see how egotistical he's acting.
the day, you either trust me to do the right thing or you don't. It doesn't actually make a difference if we have a formal warranty policy. Eventually, he added a formal written warranty, but at the same time, he didn't forget to take advantage of all the negative attention on his brand by selling a Trust Me Bro warranty t-shirt, essentially mocking the people raising concerns. Although this was a small controversy,
Bro.
the way he handled the criticism
Corny.
and walked it back only after enough pressure did not sit well with people. But it was also the first time you could see the pattern clearly. Dismiss the criticism, wait until the pressure is too big to ignore, then fix it quietly without ever admitting you were wrong. And that pattern was
Hassan Piker! That's where he probably learned it from.
about to get a lot harder to ignore. On July 29th and 30th of 2023, Linus created a community-driven expo for PC hardware and gaming enthusiasts called LTX 2023 in Vancouver, Canada. And on the first day of the event, the channel Murph's Gaming got a chance to visit the LTT's studio and labs. And during the tour, a lab employee proudly spoke about the testing process in LTT's team.
The difference between us and somebody like Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed is we test new components, new tests every time.
But little did he know, he was about to start a huge war between the biggest tech channels on the internet. 5 days after the LTT Labs claim, Hardware Unboxed, another tech channel with over 1.1 million subscribers, was the first one to fire back, saying, LTT Labs taking shots. I've rerun more benchmarks and Linus has spent money on testing equipment and staff.
If I'm correct, I believe Hardware Unboxed also had, like, beef in Linus in, like, 2024 or 2025.
If you have to tell everyone how good your testing is, in my 20 plus years of experience, that generally means your testing isn't very good. Your work speaks for itself, guys. That's how you build credibility. However, this was nothing compared to what Gamers Nexus, a PC hardware reviews channel with over 2.6
Maybe it's
million
Gamers Nexus I'm thinking
got
of.
to say about
It looks like the exact same logo. It's both. Why is it these two different gaming channels have like a blue logos? as their profile pictures. What?
tips, accuracy, ethics, and responsibility, Gamers Nexus host Steve Burke exposed a couple of serious problems from the LTT team, with the first one about the very thing LTT Lab is
Oh
proud
yeah,
of,
I remember
their
this.
testing data.
And now, even with its heavily marketed debut of Labs, LMG is still consistently making errors in nearly every single review that they publish. It is okay to make errors. All of us do this in this line of work, but the concern we have is that these types of errors are in nearly every single LTT technical or review type of video. So there are enough errors that we can't fit them all into a normal length.
Steve then pointed out the concerns he had about the authenticity of Linus's review.
$200,000 into laptop maker framework, and yet is also covering their product and their competitors' products. LMG also has a cross-branded, again, screwdriver with Noctua on their store, while they're also reviewing Noctua products favorably, even when it's shown to be hitting, by their own data, 100 degrees Celsius.
But the case that really set people off was about one particular product testing. On June 25th, 2023,
I can't lie, most of this is just going over my head because I don't know anything about computers. I just go to like other people and like, hey man, is this computer good? Are the parts in this computer good? Yeah? Awesome. All right, I'll buy it. No? All right, I'm gonna skip out on it. Like I don't know the difference between like keycaps. Well, not keycaps, but like the switches and keys. I know like some switches for keyboards, they make different sounds, and that's about all I know for like switches for keyboards. They just make different sounds, and I think some of them are harder to push than others. I really don't know. I don't know the difference between the colors.
LTT released a video reviewing a copper water cooler from Billet Labs, which is a tiny startup.
T-Team stuck this special 3090 Ti water block on an RTX 4090.
If this wasn't a 3090 Ti, then we don't have another 3090 Ti that we can take apart.
How the hell did we not know what GPU this thing was?
I thought it was a 3090 Ti.
So we just casually had a 4090 sitting on the shelf, clearly labeled.
Stating that it should work, despite it not being explicitly compatible.
However, it didn't stop LTT from trying.
Try it and continued with the video despite misrepresenting the product massively by using it on an incompatible device that it literally would not fit properly. LTT's presentation goes down the path of being irresponsible, presenting the product as much more difficult to work with than it would be if used properly.
Yeah, why are you trying to use somebody else's product and then fit on something else and be like, guys, it doesn't work? It's like a kid that is putting the blocks in like the square hole or the triangle hole, and then like they got like the triangle block, but it's not going down the square hole for whatever reason. Like the square hole, it's too small, it's not big enough for the triangle, but they just keep like trying to jam it in anyway, and then they break the toy because they just they break the plastic because they jam the stupid plastic pyramid into like the square hole hard enough that it just breaks the cheap plastic. That's what this sounds like. Like, oh wow, guys, what do you mean? I'm not using the product right, it's breaking? What? No.
Based on that flawed testing, his conclusion about the product was the following.
But it's a bad product.
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks super cool.
Are you just saying it's
People
better?
Yeah, what a dumbass. You didn't even use it right. You did not follow the directions. Oh, guys, this product's bad because I didn't follow the directions and it didn't work the way it should have. Yeah, of course it didn't work the way it should have because you didn't follow the directions, you Cro-Magnon. Like, there's an extent to following directions, all right? Listen, sometimes you don't need the directions to follow a chair. You should, but sometimes you don't because it's really not that difficult. You're just gonna have like a rough outline, and that's about it. Or, you know, set up a phone. You don't really need directions for set up a phone unless it's your first time. This is a brand new device, and you're working with technology. And technology constantly interferes with each other. Like, there's so many different like PC parts that won't work with each other. They're not compatible for whatever reason or another. That's just how it is. Bro should know this. You're a tech channel. And then you're surprised that when you're trying to mishmash one computer part with another computer part when it's not supposed to be compatible, and you're like, wow, it's not working. Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. It's not designed that way. Like trying to put on a different lid on your cup. And like you have like 4 different cups, and then you just decide to like take one cup lid and you try and put on the other one. And it doesn't work. It doesn't fit on. So instead you weld the stupid cups together. You weld the cup and the lid together. And you're like, well, now I have a cup that I can't even refill, so this is a bad product. No, it's not a bad product. You're just an idiot.
I don't think
Just purely because of the price?
it's bad because it makes absolutely no sense and nobody should buy it.
To Steve, this kind of behavior is highly damaging.
Harms a small company, and this kind of behavior can kill someone's life work in a heartbeat, and it'd be based on invalid testing and presentation. One of the company
And even the founder of Billet
Yeah, it's not like Linus Tech Tips is a journalist with, well, no journalist has credibility in current year. Bro's a YouTuber. YouTubers have like 300% more credibility than the average journalist. So if a YouTuber says something is shit, everyone from their audience is probably going to stop like using it or tell other people not to use it.
Labs had to clear the confusion in the video's comment section, saying, Felix from Billet Labs here, great video guys, but this block was specifically for a 3090 Ti, not a 4090. We've since obtained a 4090 to test with, and using it with a 3090 Ti block leaves a gap of around 1mm over the die, so it's never going to cool properly. We're happy to answer any questions in the comments below. We love LTT.
Wow, that's actually a surprisingly professional response.
But it was difficult
I'd be pissed in their
to
shoes.
watch their criticisms, when pretty much every design issue that Linus raised was done for a reason which was all explained to Adam weeks ago, none of which, I guess, was fed back to Linus. We also sent a full instruction manual that seemingly wasn't used. Despite
Bro, he literally didn't follow the directions, and then it didn't work. And the company's just like, bro, you didn't follow the directions. Of course it didn't work out. You're a dumbass.
that, Linus doubled down on his opinion and didn't even show a shred of guilt for essentially destroying the product.
I don't know, guys. I'm not sure if I can apologize for not spending another $100, $200, $300, $500 of various people's time sitting and engineering a workaround to a product that no matter.
Maybe you should have just done the research yourself instead of having a whole team of people and hoping the team of people tells you everything what you need to know. With more and more humans, they make more and more mistakes. Like, there's an extent, like, you know, obviously you don't want to have one person doing a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to, like, something really high budget or, like, taking a lot of time. Because that means that you would be under a lot of pressure and you'd make mistakes. But having too many team members, they're going to, like, just be fed so much information, they're going to forget a whole bunch of stuff, too. Maybe that team member forgot to tell Linus. I don't know. It is a little fishy, though, that he did not get a direction pamphlet like he was supposed to, though. That seems like a really big oopsie-whoopsie.
Matter the result, nobody should buy.
But it didn't stop there. Things got even messier when Steve exposed the LTT team trying to take advantage of Billet Labs financially.
Labs Gamers Nexus learned that the company asked for the prototype back on June 28th. This would allow them to send it out to other media or use it for further development. Linus Media Group agreed at least twice to return the product. The first time they agreed to send it back was June 30th. At LTX, Linus Media Group put the one-of-a-kind water block up for auction at its Extra Life auction event. Without
Bro, he agreed to give it back, and he's just like, actually, I'm gonna try and sell it instead. Lol. What a dick.
the permission of Billet Labs. Billet did not learn of this until
And this immediately triggered another wave of hatred towards Linus and his team, with comments
Yeah, deserved. Deservedly so. Dude. That's like borrowing your friend's car and then trying to sell it on eBay. And never giving it back. What?
saying, how can you mistreat a company like that? Literally auctioned off their best prototype. It breaks my heart how they mistreated Billet Labs. A public apology is in place. Just
A public apology and then repaying Billet Labs. All the money it took to make that product. Times 3.
hours after Gamers Nexus uploaded their video, Linus took to the company's forum to respond with a rather lengthy post.
Only the forum though. Not Twitter. Not X. Not a YouTube video either. Just his personal forum, because that's where the least amount of people are going to see this.
In it, he addressed his controversy with Billet Labs' prototype, saying we didn't sell the monoblock, but rather auctioned it for charity due to a miscommunication. And
Right. That doesn't change anything. That changes literally nothing. You still told them you're going to return it, and instead you try to sell it. Oh, but it was for charity. That doesn't matter. I don't care if it's for charity or not. You still were trying to sell it. It doesn't matter if the money's going to the charity. You're still selling someone else's property when you told them you're going to give it back.
The fact that while we haven't sent payment yet, we have already agreed to compensate Billet Labs for the cost of their prototype. Nevertheless, the truth was much more complicated. Billet Labs then posted their public statement on Reddit about the incident saying, regarding LTT, we are simply going to
Hell yeah, post it on Linus's Reddit,
state
deserved.
the relevant facts. On the 10th of August, we were told by LTT via email that the block had been sold at auction. There was no apology. We replied on 10th August within 30 minutes, telling LTT that this wasn't okay, and that this was a prototype worth X amount of pounds, and we asked if they planned to reimburse us at all. We received
In the 4 digits! Oof.
no reply and no offer of payment until 2 hours after the Gamers Nexus video went live on the 14th of August, at which point Linus himself emailed us directly. The exact monetary value of the prototype was offered as a reimbursement. We have not received, nor have we asked for any other form of compensation. At this point, it seems
Yeah, I honestly, you guys should have asked for more. Because he wasted your time, and who knows how much money you could have made with that prototype in your hands and someone else actually looking over it, than giving like a genuine review for it. Getting more money than it was worth, but it would have been definite deserved compensation.
like nobody wanted to trust Linus anymore, with comments like, it looks like LTT
How did I not hear about this? Why was no one talking about this? What was going on 3 years ago where this just went off my radar?
just ignore them without the backlash, and Linus was 100% going to sweep this under the rug. They knew Billet had zero pull until another YouTube giant came out. But Steve from Gamers Nexus wasn't done yet, as he brought up another example.
Yeah,
of
kill
the
him!
team. This time it was about a gaming mouse.
This is not a smooth mouse, and that's really disappointing, especially on like a premium gaming mouse. That should be one of the primary focuses.
Ponage then contacted LMG to notify them that LMG had not removed the protective film from the feet of the mouse.
However, the Short Circuit team denied it at first, as Linus admitted it during a later video saying,
That our initial correction, which was posted, said, hey, no, it, is high friction, and we did test it, and there were no films on.
which resulted in this conclusion.
The only question that remains is, am I recommending you buy this product?
Due to the strong criticism from the video, it prompted a rather aggressive response from the Ponage team saying, our mouse was given as a prize to each of their VIP whales to their recent Linus Expo event, but say not recommended? Talk to your boss at Linus Tech before you mess up his credibility as well. For a channel this big, you have a responsibility to do basic study and not spread misinformation. But it
Yeah. But how do you miss like the film on the bottom of a mouse? Like after you use it for, I don't know, 10 minutes, there would probably be at least a crinkle, something there. Like you can probably feel that the bottom feels way more like plasticky in comparison to the rest of the mouse too. Oh no, it's probably just because it's made from a different material. Yeah. I bet you that'd probably be their excuse if they were offered to give it out, but that would be a terrible excuse too. Come on, it's like a plastic film. You can definitely tell, you can feel it.
wasn't just the Ponage team. Viewers also expressed their disappointment with people commenting things like, most, if not all premium mice come with a protective film on the feet. The fact that this professional mouse reviewer didn't even check for them is appalling, or even threw in some
Professional quotation marks.
sarcastic joke into the mix with, hey guys, maybe grab a prototype from them and sell it at auction too. That'd show them. And as the backlash getting
Yeah, Linus! Just sell another prototype. I'll teach them.
intense, the Short Circuit team eventually had to back down, admitting we watched through all the raw footage from this shoot, and it does appear that the protective plastic film was indeed still on the feet when David gave his initial impressions of the glide feel. We've cut out the section of the video regarding the glide issues so as to not misrepresent the mouse. We
How about you do another video saying you're wrong? Oh, wait, can't have that happen because that's admitting publicly for everyone to see that you did bad. But hey, here's a fun fact. You can't find YouTube comments by searching them on any search engine. You can only find YouTube comments when you go on the YouTube video. So there's a likelihood that a lot of people never even saw this apology, that never even knew there was an issue. That was like an issue with the review to begin with, because they just put in the YouTube comments. Again, this is like really scummy behavior. You should have just kept it in the video and then linked to the description that you were wrong with another video saying how you were wrong and actually, like, you forgot to remove the protective film. Really, it's not that hard. You could have even just made it a short too. Like we are in the what is this 2023? This is definitely the era of like YouTube Shorts and TikToks where you could have most definitely made a short out of it. You could have made a short out of your mistake, making fun of yourselves, and be like, yeah, so here's the real review, and then done a like quick review of it. Because everyone that's probably watching you on your shorts and your TikToks probably already seen the video too. Like, this is
I
pathetic.
deeply regret allowing this error to happen and will be implementing process changes so similar issues are avoided in the future. Importantly, we apologize for getting
That basically means, yeah, sorry guys, you noticed that we made an oopsie poopsie. We're gonna do a better job hiding our fuck ups.
it wrong in the video, and we apologize for how we handled the communications that followed. Even Linus himself had to address this incident on a podcast,
And we did test it, and there were no films on the feet, and we didn't do our due diligence to figure this out. I am extremely frustrated for a number of reasons by this, so I just want to say, hey.
Yeah, you're only frustrated because it's giving you bad PR. That's the only reason why you care. Otherwise, if no one noticed, you would have never cared.
Massive apology to Ownage.
then went on and unlisted the video. But that wasn't all. Linus Tech Tips even released a 20-minute YouTube apology video in which several high-ranking employees and executives promised to do better.
Effective immediately, all YouTube video production is on pause, and our teams are going to be spending this entire next week focusing on long-term workflow changes.
Maybe you just need less employees and less companies. I mean, less employees, less channels to micromanage. Maybe just limit it down to like 3 or 4 and then focus your efforts on that, because you have way too many different employees consistently making mistakes that are like big mistakes that are ruining companies and people's opinions of the companies too.
To make our content better in a lasting way. This means for the first time in over 12 years, LTT will be missing not just one daily upload, but many.
While Linus personally apologized for everything.
Whatever's being said about me and whatever's being said about the team should never have allowed my feelings to distract from any valid criticism of our work. My decision, for example, to not bother retesting the monoblock, that was obviously wrong, and my lame response on the forum was a huge and unnecessary blunder. I owe you guys better, and I'm sorry.
However, that was only half of what August threw at LTT. The very next day, a former employee named Madison Reeve posted a detailed thread about some of the reasons she left the company. Among those reasons were serious allegations of what was going on inside the company. In her tweets, Madison said, "I was consistently belittled by certain members of upper management. My work was called dog shit. I was called incompetent. When I would reach out to managers and try to get help with these situations, I would be told to put on my big girl pants and be more assertive."
Put on your big girl pants. What? No way. What is it called? What is it? Where did I hear this from? This reminds me of a manager. It's a mean manager. That's literally what a manager would say. That's like some bit from some TV show, and I can't even remember what.
I was told I was bossy when I was trying to be assertive, like I was asked to do. I was told I was arguing when I was trying to discuss my point of view. I was told to calm my tits, stop being such a bitch, and other comments to similar effect.
Yeah, that's how you know that you have like a shitty manager that that can't take criticism or can't handle discussion. I have the same issue with my pops, who is a giant bitch. He cannot handle it anytime I talk to him or discuss my point of view on anything, because like, oh, that's wrong. Oh, where'd you learn that from? The internet? Yes, where everyone learns everything nowadays. I have like 4 or 5 different ways to bring up the sources of my information, which tells you why I'm right. Why I'm saying is a factual statement. Whereas he's just like, oh, you heard from this person. Well, I'm glad you heard this shit from a person. That doesn't mean jack shit, though. Oh, but I have an aunt, and she worked at McDonald's for 30 years, and she loves it. Oh, congratulations, your aunt in her, like, 60s, 70s. Actually, no, she's in, like, her 80s and 90s. She had a good time at McDonald's back when she was working up until, like, the 1990s, maybe. Wow, that's crazy. It's almost like as if the last 30 years are completely different. And shit has changed. And also, 20 or 30-year-olds don't want to fucking work at McDonald's to begin with. Because the job sucks now. Because things have changed. No way. But anytime you ever confront him on anything and bring up sources, he gets all pissy and cries.
And it didn't get any better with the working environment as Madison continued. Work from home was a whole issue. If you took 3 minutes to answer a personal email, you could get in trouble. There is a system of micromanaging and a level of distrust because the amount of content they have to push out daily is so insane. I purposefully cut my leg open so badly I would have to go to the ER to get it stapled back together. It was
Bro. That's like shit you do when you have like abusive parents and you just want to get out of the house. Or you have like helicopter parents that won't ever let you out of the house, so you do that just so you can get away from them for a bit.
The only way in my mind to take a day off without being harassed for a reason why. I'd spoken to managers about how I was struggling and how the workload was too much for one person, but I was belittled and told, you just have bad time managed skills. And
alright, this just sounds like a narcissistic manager.
even worse, she was also harassed by other employees who, at one point, asked her to twerk during work hours and was
That's crazy. Imagine asking your coworker to twerk for you. I can tell by Madison's profile picture, she's the kind of woman that would like get deeply offended by that. And whoever asked her that, you're a dumbass. You listen, judge a book by its cover. You can obviously tell that she would not do it, and she would not take it as a joke.
questioned about her sexual history. Hearing all of these, fans were pissed off beyond belief, with comments saying, I am beyond disgusted to learn about all of this. I had unsubbed to all their channels an hour ago over the journalistic integrity issues, but learning this leaves me speechless. I hope you're doing better, Madison, and thank you for bringing this to light. And when people commented on Linus to address the allegations on his apology video, many of these Madison-related comments were deleted. Before everything went out of
Well, isn't that interesting?
control, the LTT team released a press statement saying, we are taking Madison's allegations seriously.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure if Madison's having these issues with whatever manager or managers, I'm pretty sure there's probably other employees that have had the same issues. And the obviously the people above that just have been ignoring
We're
it.
conducting an internal assessment alongside bringing in a third-party investigator to look into the allegation. We are committed to publishing the findings and implementing any corrective actions that may arise due to this. But the damage had already been done, as the Linus Tech Tips channel lost 200,000 followers just in August 2023.
Ooh, that's actually a steep amount. That's more than Dame lost.
Alone. The pattern from the backpack controversy had just played out again. He only moved on when the pressure became impossible to ignore, and this time it was on a much bigger stage. If the 2023 crisis raised questions about LTT's accuracy in workplace culture, it was pale in comparison to what happened in December 2024. On December 22nd, 2024, a YouTuber named Megalag published a video titled Exposing the Honey Influencer
Bro,
Scam.
what is up with all these tech channels having blue profile pictures? What is the reason for that?
For those who didn't know,
Like, specifically, not even blue, it's like cyan. Why is it all the tech channels have like cyan PFPs? Like 3 of them in this video alone. Crazy.
Honey is a free Chrome extension that automatically searches for coupons on over 30,000 sites across the globe, which helps users save time and money while shopping online. The video revealed that Honey had been secretly stealing money from the very creators who had promoted them via affiliated marketing. In order to understand how that all works, you need to know that when you click an affiliate link and buy something, the influencer who promoted that product earns a commission for referring you to that store. And behind all of that is a complex mechanism operating quietly. Let's say you're looking for a CPU, and after watching the Linus video, you decided to buy the one he recommended in that video, and this is what happened next.
You see, after clicking Linus's affiliate link, you'll notice in the URL, there's a tracking tag labeled Short Circuit. That's a reference to one of Linus's YouTube channels, and this tracking tag is how Newegg knows who to pay a commission to. We can also see that this tracking tag has been saved on my browser in the form of a cookie that will expire in 30 days.
Then, when you were at the checkout page, this took place.
Well, once Honey popped up, watch what happened to Linus's affiliate link.
I know exactly what's happening, but I'm just following along anyway.
You see that? Honey came in, removed Linus's affiliate cookie, and replaced it with their own, claiming credit for the sale.
And I bet you Linus had an issue with that just because now it's affecting his wallet, and he figured it out.
Money for themselves.
Or he heard about it.
It didn't take long for that video to blow up, pulling in nearly 19 million views to this day, and LTT was right at the center of it.
Linus Tech Tips, who have been promoting Honey.
19 million plus who knows how many other people reacted to it and just started spreading the word about honey being bad.
Since 2017.
Turns out that back in 2020, someone had already brought the problem up on the LTT forum, saying word on the street is that honey takes affiliate money. Is that a fact? Any chance LTT will look into that? And when another user replied with, I fail to see how this is a problem, he asked, what about all the affiliates losing money because of honey? And the users that don't realize who is getting screwed for honey to make money? Am I crazy for thinking Linus is a crook for this? Only to receive this answer. Yes, you were the one who's in the wrong here. There's literally nothing corrupt or shady about honey's business model.
Bro! Like, it's one thing to have ignorance and say, I don't believe it. But it's another thing to be like, yeah, I believe you, but who cares? What?
Eventually, the topic was ignored until 2022, when another user noticed that Linus was no longer promoting Honey and asked the team about it, which one of Linus's employees responded with, we ended the partnership with Honey due to the way their service interacted with affiliate links.
Oh, now was an issue because you weren't getting enough money from the Honey sponsorships, huh?
Essentially, if someone clicked on an affiliate link, for example, one of ours below in the video description on YouTube, and then if they say use Honey and search for a deal, Honey will override that tracking link even if they don't find you a deal. But the worst thing is, although the LTT team knew about this, they did nothing to stop Honey from taking advantage of other creators, especially since they were one of the biggest promoters of this scam.
They did approximately 160 sponsored segments, all of which remain live on YouTube. Those videos have accumulated around 194 million views. According to my data, that makes Linus's company, LMG, the third largest promoter of honey on YouTube. So yeah, in my opinion, they should have
Man, H3H3 was the second largest? That's crazy.
made more noise about this.
And when asked why he didn't warn people, his answer was this.
If I told everybody, uninstall Honey, an extension that supposedly gets them a better deal because I wasn't making enough money from it? Do you really, honestly, ask yourself, truly, think that would have gone good for me?
And this
Yeah. Because you're helping other people. Like, a lot of times people are trying to, like, buy stuff through an affiliate link because they just want to support their YouTuber that they are watching. Bro is
left
retarded.
a bad taste in many people's mouths, including Louis Ross.
It's not about you getting more money. Sure, it also affects you and affects you getting money, but that's not the sole reason why you could, like, talk about it. Even if that was the thing you brought up, is that it is affecting my money, my wallet, Honey, like, stealing my affiliate link. Even then, that would awaken other people to realize, oh, it's affecting my affiliate link too. People might have a problem with how you word it, but again, it'd still be a major good because you're awakening everyone to the fact of the situation.
Man, who immediately called out Linus's response to the scandal.
Well, Linus is asking his viewers to ask if they think it would have gone well for him, and my first thing would make...
My bet is that he probably had a contract with Honey where he couldn't publicly talk about it. Or he just chose not to talk about it because he was making way more money through Honey and those sponsorships in comparison to his affiliate links, at least for a while. And then he realized that the funds weren't coming in anymore, so he stopped taking sponsorships from them.
Makes me want to punch my monitor is that it's not about you. You gave up the right for it to be about you, or your image, or how you think you'd be perceived when you took their money to advertise a closed source browser extension to all of your users.
And it wasn't cheap to advertise on Linus's channel. As Louis showed, it could be anywhere from $7,000 for a mid-roll ad to a $63,000 sponsored video. And all of this brought another huge wave of backlash toward Linus, with comments saying LTT were one of the biggest victims but made the least noise. I think that's what's bothering people. Genuine tech tip would have been to uninstall Honey. Linus is the same guy who says using an ad block is piracy because it hurts creators, but an extension that literally steals your affiliate money, it's not a big deal and not his story to tell. Since this controversy, the
Guys, don't use ad block on my videos because I don't make money. But also, use code Honey so that way you can get 10% off because I have sponsorship with them now. I have sponsorship, or if you use code LTT, you get $10 off on product, and I get $30 because you bought product.
Tech Tips channel's viewership has also dropped sharply, up to 50% in September 2025, and even Linus himself acknowledged
but it came back. You could see the chart.
Our views are down, that the decline in viewership might be the result of his past controversies.
Part of the tech community that is just completely tuned out at this point. Like, we can never reach them again. Way. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really know how to deal with it, right? It doesn't matter what the intent was.
Downsize! Do better! Stop being so narcissistic. It's not that hard. It's not that deep, Chief.
It doesn't matter what our actions have been. It just matters what, you know, some snake.
No, your actions mattered a lot. Your inaction is what caused this issue to arise for you. That's been the issue across all your controversies so far, is that you chose to do nothing and try to sweep it under the rug. And every single time it hasn't worked out in your favor. How many times do we have to teach it this lesson, old man?
Put out to a very large number of people to poison their opinion, right?
But while his channel was bleeding viewers, Linus was busy making a very different kind of decision. One that was going to put Linus back into the spotlight, but not for the reasons he expected. On April 2nd, 2026, Linus posted
Yep, here it is, the jet video.
titled, "The Gamer Jet is Real," and it
And again, why does he need this? He doesn't need this, but he'll probably give you an excuse why he
cost
does.
$0, showcasing his newest purchase. And the way he began the video immediately baffled everyone.
So the April Fool's wasn't a joke? We actually bought a jet?
What started as a meme on WAN show when I discovered that a jet-propelled aircraft is not as expensive as I initially thought. When I started to explore that one aircraft that I was like, this is shockingly affordable.
Because just a few years earlier on the WAN show, Linus had a completely different
He must have voted for Donald Trump because he wants to know what it's like to constantly fly in a private jet.
thought on private jets.
I kind of look at private air travel and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't seem great. You know, the sheer amount of fuel consumption. So I have my own thoughts on private travel. I don't feel it's necessary for me in any kind of security way, and I'm not super keen on.
I remember this clip. This is exactly what I was referencing.
I don't think it's great.
So when Linus got asked about the price, his answer was even more unreal.
So because of the non-disclosure agreement that we signed in order to purchase it, like, this whole world is very closed door.
Yeah.
I can't actually tell you how much I paid. But what
Right, sure.
I can tell you is that if you Google it, it's less than that. And the second thing that I can tell you is that with a little bit of girl math, $0.
But he got even more excited when it came to the fuel
Yeah, $0 because you're not the one paying for the fuel. Your fans are.
cost of flying to Mexico and back to Canada.
When we factor in that the fuel coming back from Mexico was half as much as we paid to go down,
Oh, whoa.
it actually cost less than buying like a first class ticket for everyone, which was kind of mind-blowing.
However, the internet did not find this convincing. News outlets started calling him completely out of touch, while many viewers started expressing their disdain, with comments saying his poor employee having to stand there and listen to his boss brag about how rich he is. This was the most
Yeah. Imagine having to work for your boss and him brag about him just buying a jet that you helped him get, and he's reaping 99% of the benefits. Here's a fun fact for you. In the 1980s, CEOs only made about 20 times the amount of their average employees. CEOs of today, the average CEO makes about 300 times the amount of the average employee. So if you are making $40,000 a year, just multiply that by 300%. Or not 300%. Multiply that, that'd be like 30,000%? Yeah, that'd be about like 30,000%. Multiply that by 300. And that's probably how much your boss is making. Isn't that crazy? You're working so hard to make this other person money while they just sit on their ass and then tell people how to do better.
been trying to rationalize his expensive purchase to his wife conversation I've ever seen between two straight men. On the
So if that guy was making, I don't know, let's say he's making like 100 grand a year. Somehow he's making 100 grand a year. Linus is making, what's that? 300 million a year. He's obviously not. Linus is most definitely not making 300 million a year. I would not believe that. But he's probably, I would not be surprised if Linus is making like 6 mil a year. Meanwhile, his employees, the average employee of his is probably working for like 60,000. Still crazy that there's just that much difference in the wealth that Bro can own a private jet. And he is just like, employee, listen, I got this jet. It was pretty awesome. I went to Mexico. I can't tell you how much I paid for it because of an NDA. Right, sure, yeah. But just let me tell you, it's actually a lot cheaper than you thought. Right. Yeah. Okay, buddy.
TT's subreddit, people were criticizing Linus's decisions left and right, to the point that he even got the moderators to delete a bunch of negative comments about the jet. And on YouTube, his name became a hot topic for the creators, with videos like the Linus tech tip situation is bad, which got over 1 million views in just over 3 weeks, and Internet versus Linus tech tips, which got nearly 40,000 views under 2 weeks.
Hey, why don't you bring up the Tech Tone video?
So it's safe to say, after all of these controversies...
Hey, what about Tech Tone talking about it? What about the Tech Tone video? Tech Tone. Linus Tech Tips. 80 to 1,000 views. Imagine not bringing up the Tech Tone video, the slop Tech Tone video with 81,000 views. Rich person buys expensive things instead of giving that money to their employees. Wow, that is such a shit comment that I made, but you know what? It's still kind of real. Well, I guess we figured out why no one really likes Linus nowadays. Yeah, I agree with him. I knew Linus was getting out of touch, and he's been L-Riz for a while, but I'm seeing it now. I'm really understanding. So, if you enjoyed that video, you know, we have Ryan Pictures video in the description. Just click the link. You should like, comment, and subscribe on it. Like, comment, and subscribe on my video too. And I'll see you Vampcows next time. Feast upon my next victim.
Did you enjoy that video? Did you hate it? Well, be sure to like, dislike, comment, and subscribe if you want to see my next walking slosh take.